Okay, so for the journaling exercise, I always write the date up at the top, just so if I'm ever looking back at it, I know when it was. And then we just start with, why don't I deserve love? And just start with just a few silly examples that you can think of. You know, things that seem apparent to you, that you don't need to think too much about. You don't need to analyse too much. And this is what we call micro traumas. So it's situations that have happened that don't really affect our lives too much, but it's the effect from what it is that's happened in the situation that's lingered and has kind of made an impact on the beliefs that we now have. So it's still affecting our life, even though it wasn't really a big situation at the time. And here I've given you 4 examples. Just to give you an idea, and you can see that after you start with the first couple, it starts to get a lot easier, and then some of the bigger ones usually come out the more time you spend writing, and then you start to think, how much do I actually believe this? So the first one, we're going to mark that 7 out of 10 because it seems to be pretty apparent. We've got lots of evidence for that. And then we just go down the list, and again, the kind of emotional impact that we feel after reading these sentences, see how much we connect with it. And again, that's why it's really good to do the little meditation beforehand, just to get you in the kind of receptive, open state. And now you just start to rewrite. So we're starting with the first one, and we find the opposite version of that. So we have here, everyone always leaves me. And the opposite thing might be that they're leaving because you don't want to settle down with someone who isn't the perfect person for you. So although it seems that it's something out of your control, it might be for a better reason. So we look at the positive aspect of that. And again, we just go through the list, starting to rewrite the opposite aspect of what seems to be true. So I like to put on a timer for about 10 minutes. That seems to help with the flow of the writing, so you're not worrying about too much about trying too hard, or make sure that you write enough, or maybe the opposite, it feels like it's been 5 minutes when it's been an hour. If you find it hard to kind of get into the flow, you can just start writing anything, and then when you feel like things are starting to connect a bit more, that's when you can start to write your little list. but 10 minutes is a good measure of time to allow you to really think of some things that are deep down. And I always like to sign it off with a little love heart. So now we're on to our affirmations. And here is an example of what I was saying with getting into the flow of it. So we start off writing out the same sentence. I'm just going to summarise what all of the negative beliefs together amount to, and then turn that into the positive. Writing that out a couple of times. And now I think I can do better. So I'm going to start expanding on that. Start thinking of more and more positive things that I can be telling myself right now. So I really like this one here. I think this is a nice all-encompassing nice summary of how I want to be feeling during the day. So I'm going to circle that, and usually I would write that out another maybe 15 or 20 times, just fill up a couple of pages with that, and then I'll repeat this to myself during the day.